What a crazy fucking week it has been for WWE. They release R-Truth, the beloved R-Truth. I mean, there's a lot more information that's coming out of it in the world of WWE. Mariah made her debut last night for NXT. What else even happened? I mean, El Grande Americano, he qualifies for the Money in the Bank. There's just a lot of news that's coming out, and I want to get into it here on the podcast. So don't go anywhere. Sit down, grab your popcorn, whatever you want to do. But let's hit that intro, and this is Pardon the Pipe Bomb.
Now get the cards, the darks from my generation. I'll take I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. In anybody else's hands, this is a microphone. In my hands, it's a pipe bomb. I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I'll make mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Flamio, and this is Pardon the Pipe Bomb. If you guys are still with me in this journey, please hit that thumbs up or even hit that like button. And if you really feel like doing anything with yourself, you can leave me a negative 5-star review. For our company that we have, we actually got our first negative review from a very lovely woman, but we're not going to get into that. But what a crazy week it has been here in the world of pro wrestling. Better known WWE or even TNA or AEW, but whatever that you follow, whatever is in the headline news of the day, I will try to cover it the best that I can. But this podcast is mainly WWE, TNA, maybe some AEW. I don't know. I'm kind of like doing circles around here, but let's get into the news here. I got a couple things that I even just want to talk about. I want to have and show you guys a couple of my takes. And a couple of them are with R-Truth, Karrion Kross, Triple H, and what he's doing with WWE and Money in the Bank, and how much he really just doesn't really care for the idea of Money in the Bank. Just a lot of things that has happened on Tuesday, a lot of things happened on Monday, where we actually had a good, decent go-home show, and it felt like that WWE Raw is alive. And speaking of the shows, the two different ones, we got SmackDown, we got Raw, and SmackDown, they're going to be 3 hours long indefinitely. For how long? I don't know. I think it's a bad call. That's just my humble opinion, but let's just kind of revert back to not Monday, but let's just go to Tuesday. It is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, and Mariah May, the lovely, lovely, beautiful Mariah May, has made her debut on NXT, and it was reported just hours before she made her debut that she is WWE bound indefinitely. And right when that report came out, a couple hours later, there she was. Because you have a champion, NXT Women's Champion. I don't even know her name. I don't really follow NXT. I mean, there's a couple superstars that I follow here and there, but I don't have time to do that. I barely have enough time to watch Monday Night Raw. I don't even have time to watch Friday Night SmackDown. I have to go on YouTube and get a recap of Friday Night SmackDown. But every now and then, I still try to stay in the loop and give you guys my humble opinion on how WWE is moving forward. But yeah, Mariah May, she made her debut, and it looks like the NXT Women's Champion, who it is right now, is just going to be a, what's the word? Jesus Christ. It's really slipping my mind. A transferable champ. No. God damn it. Whatever the fuck it is, but she is not going to be holding that title for long because no one really knows her. She has no storyline behind her. She has no momentum behind her. It was really a shocking development that she even won the NXT Women's title, but we all know why that she did, because Stephanie Valkyrie was going to be called up Same with Jordan, Jordan Grace is going to be called up. Julian, whatever, the Chinese, the Korean, whatever she is. She's great. All three of those women are phenomenal wrestlers. No doubt about it. Like, they have no business on being on NXT. But the woman that is holding the women's NXT champion right now, she is just going to be holding that title just for long enough to have Mariah May come and take the title off of her hands. I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's just the way that it is. Mariah May, if WWE wants to do it right, they're going to be putting that title on her, and she's just going to be keeping it warm for Mariah May. Now, speaking of her coming and jumping ship to NXT, it is not really shocking that Mariah May came to WWE. Let me turn down this mic. But it's more shocking on how it happened. And how it happened, and all the reports out there saying that she wasn't going to because she's still employed with AEW. Well, there's reports out there now that she only had a contract for about 2 years with AEW. So literally, when she signed with AEW, she got into that storyline with Toni Storm, and then turned on Toni Storm and became a AEW Women's Champion, and became this huge women's superstar within months. And mainly it probably is because of her looks, but you get that out of there. She has the looks, she has the charisma, she has the in-ring ability. She can definitely take some bumps in the ring. She's not just a pretty girl, kind of like Tiffany Stratton. She can work in that ring. And she definitely showed that with her little stint in AEW. And she's been on record saying that I want to go to WWE. So I think what AEW and Tony Khan were trying to do, I think that they were trying to really hope for the best and, try to give her as much money as she could. And hopefully she would resign once her contract was up. But I think Mariah May, whatever that she was going to be doing, if she would have stayed with AEW, she knew in her head she was going to be unhappy. And I think it was inevitable that she was going to be jumping ship to WWE. Now, how long is she going to be on NXT? I'm not really too sure on how old she is. I would have to look that up just real quick. But I think Mariah May is going to have a glorious run on NXT. And we don't even know what her name is yet. And they kind of did the same thing with Ricky Starks when he jumped ship from AEW to NXT. So it's an exciting time for Mariah May, and I really hope that she does great in all her work that she's going to be doing on NXT here. But let's move on to the other big news that I kind of want to talk about here, and that is R-Truth. Yes, R-Truth got released by WWE. R-Truth has been with WWE for 17 years, I believe. And with his departure, he officially left WWE. After that, it's being reported out there now. They officially released him after he declined a lower paying contract. And he's better known for his comedic roles and funny, awkward acts, kind of like most notable with John Cena. And that was, the Saturday night main event with him and Cena. Everybody knew that John Cena was going to be winning. I think that was just WWE's send-off for R-Truth. But with that being said, R-Truth is not your typical wrestler. But R-Truth did something that no other WWE performer has done. He has been with the business for 17 years. Think about that. Not even a couple superstars with NXT or the Evolve. Some of those guys don't even last 17 months. And what R-Truth did, he made a shit ton of money for doing absolutely nothing besides be the most comedic man in that locker room. But because of that, now that he's gone, it's mixed like reactions. I'm not just saying with the fans in the crowd and like how the fans feel about it. I'm saying even in the locker room with the other WWE superstars here. And some, I don't know who has been saying it, but a couple, many are calling for his like return, and people are saying that they miss his charisma and his locker room presence. And like, I'm just going to be saying this. He's going to be back on a Legends contract. Don't know when that'll happen. Maybe he'll do his own little thing in the independent scene. I don't think he's going to jump ship to AEW. I don't think he's that type of person. Maybe they have a handshake agreement that he's going to be on a Legends contract. Who knows? But I personally feel that R-Truth, he's going to be fine. Now, Carlito, I don't know about Carlito. I don't know if I don't know if he's going to be fucking fine, but Carlito did absolutely nothing. And that guy had not a single match in WWE. I don't think. I can't really think about it at the top of my head, but I do believe that Carlito did not have a single match, and all that he did was be in Judgment Day's background and just him playing WWE 2K25 or 2K24. But with R-Truth, with all that being said, R-Truth, he will be fine. He will be back with WWE. I think personally, in my opinion, they have a handshake deal where, hey, you go do your thing. You take some time off. And just so you know, that Legends contract, it will be always here for you whenever that you want to come back with WWE. That contract will always be here for you. That's just my opinion. But let's move on to something else here. And it's something that it's a lot of people are getting mixed like reactions about this. WWE SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, they're going to be expanded to 3 hours indefinitely. And it was reported that last Friday's episode was going to be the last episode that it will be 3 hours, but it's out of WWE's control here. USA Network probably sees the viewership, and it probably is steady around 1.5, 1.8 million viewers. And WWE right now is a very hot commodity, and people are starting to jump back on ship on pro wrestling and how pro wrestling is kind of fun again. So I think USA Network is like, well, we had Monday Night Raw before, and they were 3 hours, so, let's just fill this void. Who knows what it is, but WWE has announced that SmackDown will expand to 3-hour format starting on January 3rd, 2025 episode. This was last year when they said it, and the change aligns with, the length of the Monday Night Raw and how they departed to Netflix, and now they are, some episodes could be 2.5 hours, some episodes could be 2 hours and 45 minutes, some could be 3 hours and 10 minutes, who knows? But with WWE Raw being on Netflix, they could do whatever that they want. But to me, I think the 2.5 hour mark for Monday Night Raw or any any WWE show, Pro Wrestling, TNA, AEW, I think 2.5 hours is the perfect spot for it, because 3 hours just feels like, okay, this is kind of getting a little bit lackadaisical. I feel like you guys are just filling time here, but with them having like an open-ended book with them to do whatever that they want, it just feels so much better. And this past Monday Night Raw didn't feel any different from that. But speaking of Monday Night Raw, though, I think Monday Night Raw had the best show of the month so far. Of the month of May, I'm sorry. This past Monday, they actually felt like that there was story-driven television, and with Karrion Kross being like, oh no, we'll get into fucking Karrion Kross here in a sec. They had qualifying matches. They were finally had Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Big Bronson Reed be in a match finally, and not just cut a promo with Seth Rollins in like the background for them. It all kind of felt like, okay, this show actually feels important, and you can watch it and you could take away some things from it. I mean, if you want to go into it, I mean, we got a couple of the matches that were kind of entertaining. I mean, the besides the Jey Uso and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, you had Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane. And dude, honestly, Kairi Sane is kind of building some momentum coming into these last couple weeks. Finn Balor picked up his first victory in over a year. Maybe we could see something happening with that, and maybe Finn Balor can be relevant again. Maybe he can win the Intercontinental Championship and turn on Dominic Mysterio like we have been hoping for the last couple weeks now. And obviously with the main event, I knew that CM Punk wasn't going to win the triple threat match with El Grande Americano and AJ Styles. I thought maybe AJ Styles would win, but I didn't really see El Grande Americano win it. But I'm in the minority in this, and I actually kind of like it. I like that. I like it for Chad Gable's sake. I love the guy Chad Gable. I don't know what his real name is, but I love it for him. I love that he's getting a push, even though that he's not acting like Chad Gable. He is El Grande Americano. But honestly, though, like everything that's if you really think about it. Chad Gable's career came in with American Alpha. He had the long hair. He came in as a tag team. And then all of a sudden he was Shorty G and then Short Gable and then America Alpha. And then now he's kind of like on his own like with this. And I really appreciate that they're kind of giving him like a little bit more of an edge, and they're giving him like a different character, I guess. But I mean, hey, he's running with it and it's working. More kudos to Chad Gable. But some of the other promos and storylines that are developing on the on Monday Night Raw, though, that I want to talk about. Lyra Valkyria, whatever you want to, however you say her fucking name. Her and Becky Lynch. Guys, this is probably the first time in her WWE and probably for the Women's Intercontinental Champion where Lyra Valkyria looks relevant. And her and Becky Lynch had a confrontation. Lyra, she delivered in like a very strong promo for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, and like her going up against Becky Lynch at this upcoming premium live event at Money in the Bank. And it escalated into a physical altercation, of course, and intensifying their, rivalry that they started up. And to me, I feel like this is the Intercontinental Champion is head over heels over than the WWE Women's United States Championship belt. And that's so like whatever that they're doing, I appreciate what for all I know, maybe the reason why Becky Lynch came back is because she wanted to maybe enhance some of the mid-card titles that they're introducing to the women's division that they desperately needed. I know I'm probably in the minority in this, but I feel that the women's division is getting a lot bigger, and I just can't get involved with a storyline with the women in it and not having a title involved in it. I don't think that WWE is there yet. So I think them having a mid-card title really kind of helps, for other women to have opportunity to possibly be a main eventer and not just a mid-card title. So that I am very interested in seeing at this week's premium live event at Money in the Bank with Lyra and Becky Lynch facing off for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Becky Lynch will hold on to it and maybe create some sort of buzz around that title because I think it desperately needs it. Now, the one thing that is getting the most hype of, like besides R-Truth and the fans chanting his name that we want truth, is CM Punk. He addressed the fans and their chants. After when Monday Night Raw ended, CM Punk responded to the fans chanting for R-Truth. And as you and everybody knows, who has departed from WWE, but Punk humorously acknowledged the crowd and drawing parallels to past chants during his own absence. And in that moment, he felt like he needed to I guess, respond with the audience. Some of them took it with mixed reactions, just basically saying, hey, why are you chanting for somebody who's not even here? Like, that's disrespectful to the people who are taking the time and doing the work inside the ring. I mean, he's not wrong, but at the same time, WWE feels like that if they voice their opinions enough, they'll bring somebody back. Or I think really the Cody movement kind of fucked everything up. And people think just because of that, they think that they can rewrite everything. No, that's not how it works. WWE is going to do what WWE wants to do, and TKO, and obviously they have the last say in it, but Triple H obviously has a say in it, and I don't think Triple H is no dummy, but people want to come at Triple H for all these firings and them not involving like the storyline. I mean, guys, come on. Summertime besides SummerSlam, usually the summertime is when you see the ratings get a little bit lower. And we're in the, what's the word? We're not in the off season, but we like usually a couple weeks after WrestleMania is over. Yeah, you kind of get the storylines from the fallout of WrestleMania, but like I think right now they're kind of in cruise control. That's why like right now, I mean, even like this past WrestleMania didn't feel like WrestleMania, but I mean, compared to last year's, I think that they were just trying to go big time with it. But one thing before I end this podcast, I want to get into something that nobody is really talking about, I feel, but a lot of buzz is around Karrion Kross. And this is what I want to say. Since Karrion Kross has returned to WWE, Karrion Kross returned to WWE because Triple H felt like it was the right thing to do, basically, and have him back on the WWE roster because he feels that Vince McMahon really did him wrong, and Karrion Kross is a very loyal dude to whatever company that he's with. Now, that being said, since returning with Scarlett, his wife in real life, in 2022 or 2022, Triple H's creative direction for Kross has largely floated in the mid-card area, okay? And it involved with starting feuds with Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, while he's been on TV consistently, but very rarely he hasn't been in a very meaningful storyline or like a major storyline that has taken it like by storm. I mean, everything that he's doing on his own platform, I mean, he's kind of doing it on his own platform. I mean, maybe WWE has the last say in it, but even if they don't, it's reverting back to WWE and how they're really kind of botching Karrion Kross's development as a main eventer. I mean, truth be told here, if I had to pick Karrion Kross or Jey Uso to be World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw, 100% it's Karrion Kross. Jey Uso is just, I like him. I like him as champion, but do I think that he's better than Karrion Kross? Absolutely not. I mean, here's why I think Karrion Kross, he deserves a major push, though. He has the looks and the presence, and he has that it factor to be a main eventer and a champion. His intensity, his believability, is that even a word? No. But you believe him in the ring. You believe him when he does a promo. It doesn't sound like it's coming from a script, even though that's a lot of it isn't the way that it has been when Vince McMahon was running things. But his mic work, his character, the way that he's able to kind of change his character over time, because if you have the same thing, you become stale and then the fans don't really care for it. So you got to have that. And he has that. And he captivates the audience. He captivates on promos. And when given the time, even him being in the dark as much that he is, whenever you see him on the screen, you hear the crowd chant and they erupt for him. When he was with NXT, 4 years ago, he was a main eventer. He was an NXT champion, and he was a great champion. And even when he came up to the main event, when he signed back, he started a feud with Roman Reigns, and then that really didn't go anywhere. But so that leaves me to the question, why isn't he being pushed? Maybe it's creative uncertainty. Maybe it's roster depth. Maybe it's just straight up booking. I mean, maybe WWE is unsure how to modernize his character. My computer just fucking went. But maybe he didn't modernize. They don't know how to use his character to appeal the audience, when really the audience gets what Karrion Kross is. The audience kind of understands what Karrion Kross is doing. But then again, like I said, maybe it could be the Robs. Why is my phone... Okay. Maybe it's just the roster depth. Maybe like the main roster is so stacked they really don't know what to do with it. Maybe he needs a sort of like, maybe if he has a song that's like Jey Uso, maybe then he'll get into the main event picture, right? Because that's what everybody really cares for, like nowadays. If dude, I'm not hating on Jey Uso, but the first time when he won the championship in the Monday Night Raw after Mania, and he told the producers in the back, play my shit one more time. Okay, that was cool. But just like everything else, if you keep doing it over and over and over, it's like having, you're with your girlfriend, right? And you're the nice guy. You always cook her dinner. You cook her snacks. You get her like chocolate Eggos with a Nutella spread on it, and you feed her that every single night, and she loves it at first, but then after a while she gets stale and she doesn't really care for it anymore, and then she gets bored with it. Then all of a sudden she gets bored with you, and then guess what? She leaves you. That's the same thing that is gonna happen to Jey Uso. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I feel like if they keep doing what they're doing and kind of pressing on us, same thing with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes kind of got stale, but I'll tell you this much, he was a better champion than Jey Uso. I know it's early to say that, but Jey Uso is a hell of a performer. I'm not knocking on the dude, but it just doesn't feel like he will ever have it. And I feel like the only reason why that he thinks, or why people think that he has it, is because of his song, and everybody can sing to it. And why do you think that Seth Rollins is the way that he is? Why do you think that Randy Orton is all of a sudden getting a resurgence because people keep singing his song? Why do you think that Chris Jericho with AEW, why he had that little surge with AEW? Because people were singing his song. Yeah, it's cool at first. It's cool to sing along to it. But I guess maybe that you feel more connected when you're in the crowd and it's cool. I've been at a live event before, like when Monday Night Raw was in Pittsburgh. I get it. It's fun. It's cool. But it also has to do with the merchandise. And Jey Uso has a way of connecting with the younger audience, and kudos to him. And he gets the word yeet. So, all in all that I'm trying to say is, I think that Karrion Kross deserves better. I think Triple H should, in due time, should push Karrion Kross. I don't know when, but I feel like that it's going to be kind of like the storyline with Dexter Lumis and The Miz. Do you remember that one? About 2-3 years ago? It was interesting, and then all of a sudden it just got stale because it never really went anywhere. Kind of like what we're seeing with the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six had a very strong buildup where they were going to be like returning, and when they did return, it was a holy shit moment. And then after that, it's like, okay, they really don't have a sense of direction when it comes to storyline. They don't have a sense of direction with what feud and why it makes sense why that they're going to be involved with like this team or this superstar. So, yeah. With Karrion Kross, I think he has all the tools to be a main eventer with WWE on that level of a superstar. And WWE just hasn't really pulled the trigger yet. And with Money in the Bank and SummerSlam season, heating up, if there was ever a time to reinvent or reintroduce a character with Karrion Kross and have him not just on the main event after like a major show, I think that maybe he could be part of a new faction. Maybe he can be a top babyface. I think he could be a top babyface with the reactions that he's getting, and his sense of realism and reality, sort of thing that his character has now that he's showing on YouTube. Everybody can connect to him, and that's why people are chanting for him, because they know that he deserves better. It's just WWE probably just doesn't know where to put him yet. I don't think Triple H doesn't really care for him. Triple H brought him back for a reason. Triple H brought back a lot of superstars back for a reason because Vince McMahon did them dirty. And now, usually, all the other ones that have come back have had some sort of resurgence in their character. And I think right now, Triple H is doing a slow burn with Karrion Kross because I don't think that he would let Karrion Kross put his shit on YouTube and do the type of shit that he's doing. Same thing with whatever that he did, that little, I don't want to say pipe bomb, but that little crash out session that he did on one of the Raw podcasts or something like that. I think he will be fine, and I think something will come out of this. And Karrion Kross, mark my words, I wish he was in the Money in the Bank, but that would be too obvious because he has a lot of momentum coming right now. Something is going to be coming out of this, and I feel like if we all continue to chant and like have Karrion Kross's back, I think that WWE will be forced to do something about it. I mean, maybe they could, do something at Money in the Bank that's going to be coming up here. I mean, you could have Karrion Kross cut a very cryptic backstage promo like he's been doing, and could have something with symbolizing like stars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Gunther, and teasing targets that he could be coming after. Because after all, in my opinion, I think he could be like a major babyface. And maybe he could interrupt somebody with Cody Rhodes. Maybe if Cody Rhodes is going to be at the pay-per-view for Money in the Bank, maybe he'll interrupt him backstage and see how the crowd reacts with that. I mean, dude, there's all these possibilities that you could do with Karrion Kross. I just wish that WWE would do better for him. But that's going to be it for me, guys, here on Pardon the Pipe Bomb podcast. If you guys liked what you heard, like I said before, leave me a negative 5-star review or even turn on the bell for notifications for any time I do any podcast or give you guys my input on how WWE or TNA, and I guess AEW, is doing nowadays. But I'm going to send it off now. And I don't know when I'll talk to you guys again, but hopefully it'll be soon because I got a brand new computer. We are all good to go and got a new mic. If I sound a lot crisper, that's why. Life is good right now. And it's summertime. It's June 4th, 2025. Let's enjoy our time together. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.